Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be looking at, are you in alignment with your soul's purpose and higher calling? So we all come here onto the earth plane with a purpose, with a certain series of experiences that we set out to have, things that at the soul level we want to learn about, cycles that we wish to close out, ways in which we want to impact the lives that we will touch, the environments that we will encounter, the circumstances, the vibration of the planet on any given occasion. A soul's purpose can evolve over the course of a lifetime. So what at one point in life, maybe early in life, is a horizon that one is moving towards, that is in alignment with the highest good of an individual. After a certain series of experiences are had, certain things are accomplished or even transcended, that purpose may change and it may evolve and shift. Our soul's purpose can be something, like being a parent. It can be that shoulder to cry on, that sounding board to give that good advice. Our soul's purpose can be to challenge and help to awaken others to their greatest potential, or to recognize the ways in which they are limiting themselves from a more full experience of life and the point of their incarnating here on the earth plane at this time. Our soul's purpose can be to heal ourselves, help ourselves in order to be able to be that healing force, that helper for others. Our soul's purpose can be something on a more grand scale, where wisdom and information that we obtain through our own personal journeys, our relationship with spirit, with source, or even, practical matters, experiences within our community, or just stages that we have gone through in our lives, challenges we have endured and overcome, bringing that forth to others, being that source of inspiration and information to others, to instill hope, to instill awareness and understanding, to widen the world just a little bit in terms of having our voice and our light heard and acknowledged. A soul's purpose may pertain to a very specific skill, something that one cultivates over the course of a lifetime. This can be art, this can be music, this can again be something as far as helping or healing. It can be a latent talent that comes online later in life or after a series of different kinds of experiences. Again, the soul's purpose is something which can shift, it can evolve, and it can grow. It can take on many different shapes and many different forms. And so it's something where at various points in time, it's always a good idea to check in with ourselves and really see what is that purpose, what resonates, and what steps are we taking internally and outside of ourselves to come into greater proximity with that. Is the life that we are living, is it in alignment with that call that we hear gently and very deeply from within? So with that in mind, there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Howlite star, along with these cards. Group 2 is the Amethyst cluster, along with these cards. And group 3 is the Agate slice, along with these cards. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. We chose the Howlite star along with these cards, which I will start with to get a general overview about if you are in alignment with your soul's purpose, with your higher calling. We have solar light upgrade, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, willpower, expansion, and you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. So it feels like in some way you are in pretty close proximity to that soul's purpose at this point in your life, toward that higher calling, one of the major goals that your soul has set out to accomplish in this incarnation. But it may be something that you're keeping very hidden, a little bit of kind of a fear of being judged. It might be something that is different, this calling, this draw that you have, a particular interest that you have, fascination that you have, that you're not really sure how friends and family will accept that. You're not really sure. It may be something also where it almost may feel like an oversaturated market, an oversaturated field, a feeling of, does your voice really matter? Does anyone want to hear what you have to say? There's already so many people doing a particular thing, a doubt or an uncertainty about if you have what it takes to really stand out from the crowd, if it's even worth that effort, or if you would just be kind of lost in the multitude. So this is really encouraging you with this solar plexus energy to acknowledge, to listen to that fire within you, that bright light within you, something that really lights you up from the inside, a very particular interest that you have. Again, something that is really kept kind of behind closed doors. It's kept under wraps. It may be something that it's just a hobby at this point in time. It's just something that you are completely fascinated about, whether it's to do with particular healing practices, maybe a draw that you have toward bringing some information out in some way. Teaching is coming up very significantly within this, and that could be, getting a teaching certificate, going to school for that, and entering the education system. It also feels that this may relate for some of you to giving classes, giving instructional videos, or even tutorials. And so it's really coming through with this kind of this guidance at this point of starting very small, starting with where you are. If you don't feel comfortable being completely public with this, there are ways to kind of preserve your anonymity as you are kind of bringing yourself out there into more of a public forum. Maybe this is in the form of, you start a blog, so it is just written words. You are making a series of videos, perhaps, and you're not necessarily, showing your face. It is just your voice. It is just the information or the skill or the interest that you are really putting out there. It's something to where, if you might be concerned or questioning if there's anyone in your immediate sort of proximity who would be receptive to these ideas, who would want to kind of participate in these classes that you are giving. Again, this idea of maybe going online with that. If it's something, if you live in kind of a small community, for example, if people are not really open to your ideas or your sort of flavor, your kind of personality, that there is a soul tribe out there that is meant to resonate with you, and that it's very important that you shine your light, you set that beacon out there, in the faith and in the trust that the people that are meant to kind of hear what you have to bring forward will resonate. They will get that call. They will get those signs from spirit. They will be brought into alignment with you. The important thing is you step into this place of being very unapologetic about that. For a lot of you, it feels that this purpose is already known to you in some way, but with this idea of expansion, you're not really looking at it as a purpose. It's just a hobby. It's just an interest. It kind of dwells in that realm of what if. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be great if I could be very successful at this? Wouldn't it be great if I could kind of do this for a living? If I could make this into a career for myself? If I could fashion it into that? And the idea of expansion is really encouraging you to think outside of the box. Your approach to this may have been very linear up to this point in time, but you keep being brought back to this truth and this reality, this topic or this field or just this thing that you are being really driven towards for a reason. It may even be, again, an oversaturated market, a lot of people doing this, but no one can do it like you. Everybody has their own unique voice, and there is some kind of a unique twist to things, some kind of a unique way of conveying this information or way of sort of presenting this skill or ability that really will stand out from everybody else. This doesn't necessarily mean that you will be the most famous of what you are doing, the most popular of what you are doing, but you have this ability to create an impact, to be an inspiration to others, to fearlessly stand in that authenticity, in that kind of that personal empowerment. One of the challenges you may be faced with is, again, kind of a little bit of this sort of fear of what others will think, how this will be received. You're looking too much outside of yourself, and the answers really are within. It's just a matter of kind of building that confidence, taking those small steps. That first step is always the hardest. That first time you put yourself out there, or you step beyond that territory. After that point in time, it will get easier. It will get progressively easier. To put yourself out there more and more, to kind of build your confidence as others start to really gravitate towards you. That can also be a motivating factor for you to continue to press forward, to continue to push on. So again, teaching is coming in very strong. Also things to do with empowerment. So this may relate to some kind of personal struggle that you have been through and that you have overcome. Ways in which you have really sort of picked up the pieces in your life. You've put yourself back together in a different way than you were before. You've stepped more into that authenticity within yourself. And this is something which, in ways you might not even be able to anticipate at this point in time, can really help and encourage others. It can inspire others. It can be that source of kind of kinship that others are needing, that support system that lets others know it's okay to kind of step off the beaten trail. It's okay to tread the road less traveled. It's okay to kind of break away from the crowd and to choose a different way of doing things, a different way of being, settling and just kind of staying in that rut of the status quo of whatever life had been, whatever one had been settling for within themselves, or ways in which they've been kind of diminishing or selling themselves short. It doesn't need to continue to be that way. Change is very scary, but very positive things can come from that. This solar plexus energy is also something you may have taken your power back from. Again, some kind of an adversity you had faced, some difficulties and challenges you had faced. This imagery here with the "you're not for everyone," this is really bringing in this I know this is supposed to be an image of kind of Jupiter, but then I'm really drawn to these rings. So it's bringing in this kind of Saturnian energy, the rings of Saturn. So maybe during your Saturn return, which happens roughly every 28 to 30 years in our lifetime, and it is often at that point that we find ourselves at these major crossroads. There's decisions to, kind of break away from major cycles, step into a period of growth and expansion. A lot of lessons are then kind of slotted from that point forward, depending on what we do, what we kind of move toward. If we choose the path of fear or the path of love, it often then impacts kind of the reverberation of what we are experiencing thematically, archetypally, different doors that close for us or new doors that are opened based on that kind of decision point. And for some people, that kind of Saturn return that happens every 30 years, roughly, that can be a difficult time, that kind of, that period and then the several years that follow, where we really then are brought back into this place of alignment within ourselves to kind of course correct. It's almost the universe coming in to give us that little wake-up call of ways in which we have been settling or kind of playing small with our life or entertaining energies or circumstances or people that aren't really meant for our highest good. So something to do with your own personal Saturn return. If you can think back to that period in your life, if you are, kind of beyond that stage, if it's something where you're in proximity, maybe you are kind of in the aftermath of that at this point in time, and looking around at the challenges you're faced with, maybe some major upheavals, some major life decisions, and that all of that, kind of how you are handling that, how you are handling those challenges with grace, how you are choosing to grow from these things rather than being stifled or broken down, not allowing defeat to take over, but really rising up, allowing yourself to become better versus embittered by what you have experienced and encountered. All of that really feels in alignment with your soul's purpose and your higher calling, to be that inspiration to others, to help others, to maybe even be a guide for others based on what you have learned, what you have endured, what you have gone through. But this can also be a very crucial window of opportunity where if you're a little bit uncertain about how that soul's purpose, how that higher calling, that inner fire within that is sort of directing you into a particular field or again, in a particular direction, but you're not really sure how to manifest that out into something in the material world, this time period, or even just kind of meditating on that theme of Saturn, sort of challenges, not meant to be points of defeat, but almost that friction that is necessary for that best version of self to kind of rise up, that survival instinct, that we all as human beings have within us. Tapping into that, meditating on that, instances in your life when you've experienced that, or maybe you're in the thick of that right now, and kind of taking notes, maybe literally taking notes, or just taking note of these experiences within yourself in order to transmute these things later on, to expand and grow from these things, to be that kind of living example of change, to help others, maybe in a direct fashion, or even in terms of other things that you're doing in your life, that soul's purpose, that higher purpose can be how you kind of move through these things with grace, the light that you are shining out, and how you are impacting the world. No matter what it is you're doing for a living, no matter what your life looks like, you can still be that force of change that you are wanting to see by changing your perspective of these experiences in general, and the potential that exists within you, the capability that exists within you, even the most difficult circumstances being that raw material that motivates you to do something different, to make the necessary changes in order to have kind of that what you are striving for, that place of feeling very much at peace and good about yourself and what you're doing, what you're putting out in the world, the energies which are surrounding you, the relationships that you're participating in, working to kind of create that balance between the inside and the out, kind of these changes within that then ripple out into the experiences you're having in the material sense. So all of that really being part of this soul's purpose. It feels also that kind of frictional relationships that you have at this point in your life, or maybe in the past, part of your life's purpose is, and soul's purpose is, sort of a transmutation of how you are viewing these things. And it doesn't mean you excuse this behavior, but you again look kind of at these forces of friction, these irritants, whether they are circumstances or people within your history, or people you are presently dealing with. Recognizing that pressure, that kind of grating energy between you and another person, it really, or between circumstances that are just very frustrating or very difficult, that is the force of nature, which can very definitely, if you kind of apply it in the right way, if you work with that energy in just the right fashion internally within yourself, that can be the energy that kind of unearths this jewel that lives within you. It unearths that best potential that's within you, rather than kind of looking out for solutions, looking out for assistance. You are looking within, you are finding that strength within you, you are recognizing that call and answering that call, trusting in that intuition. This is a very empowered energy, a very kind of a go-getter energy here, where, again, whether it's just the change that you make within yourself and that kind of being an example to others in your immediate sphere to kind of make necessary changes for them, or it's something that you take that out more and you teach or you help others, taking their power back from circumstances, moving towards that best life, taking those action steps, following the nudges that they are really given, or ways in which they are guided to make changes for themselves, or to, just kind of move out of that realm of woulda, coulda, shoulda, this wishful thinking into, doing something, maybe taking small steps, but, kind of this measured and consistent action in the direction of a dream, bringing that dream out from the energetic realm into the material plane. So it feels very much that, again, at this point, you in some way have an inkling of what that higher purpose is, that higher calling is. You may be kind of actively sort of participating in that or in the thick of these experiences right now. But there's some way in which you're being encouraged to really do more with that, invest more time into that, give more serious thought to that. Take a wider perspective on some of these experiences in this process at this point in time, and understand that this is preparation for you to step into that light of authenticity that might not be for everyone, but your unique experience, your unique perspective, your unique interests and skills and abilities. You have them for a reason. You are here on this earth for a reason at this time. And the people that you are meant to impact in a positive way that will resonate for you, that you are their flavor, will find you, but that won't be the case if you keep that sort of hidden within you. You need to shine that light out. So it may be a task at this point in time to step beyond that comfort zone, expand yourself, move out of the comfort zone in some way in order to come into greater alignment with that soul's purpose and that higher calling. So I'm going to get a few tarot cards to get a little bit of clarification about this. Okay, so we have the Magician, which is Gemini energy. King of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And Queen of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So the Magician is definitely all about transmutation, taking what you have, the raw materials, what is at your disposal right now, recognizing that it can almost feel like there's never enough preparations. It's not the right time. You need some more study. You need some more experience. There can be kind of that imposter syndrome that sort of impacts the way in which we will put ourselves out there, kind of doubting our abilities. Again, that idea of feeling that maybe a particular market or field is very oversaturated, questioning if what you have to say or contribute will make a difference. And this is really encouraging you to start where you are with what you have. You have an ability to really take some kind of a dream or a secret passion within yourself and bring that out into a material world. You are the magician in your life, no matter what the dire circumstances may be that you are facing, whatever doubt you are facing. You do have the ability to change these circumstances, to transmute these circumstances. It's all in how you look at that. Setbacks can be instead sort of repurposed into opportunities to do better, to know better, to learn and grow in a different direction. Methods you may have previously utilized that didn't pan out as you wanted. It's an opportunity to kind of rethink that, reframe the approach, expand that, think outside of the box, or even think about how you can really kind of apply these interests or skills into a different area, some different way than you had previously been envisioning that they would be expressed or made manifest. King of Pentacles is a very positive sign. Again, this energy of accomplishment, this energy of confidence, and it is really this encouragement to you to continue pressing forward in whichever way you're really being tugged at the soul level, an interest that keeps drawing you back in, something that you instinctually feel is that purpose, is that calling, that it's something that may change form, it may change shape over the course of your lifetime, as soul purpose and higher calling tends to do. It's usually not completely linear. It can often be a winding path that takes on many different evolutions or kind of branches or layers or phases over the course of a lifetime. But overall, this is something that is really encouraging you to continue to press forward, even out into the unknown, that your endeavors, your ventures will be very successful. When you stand in that light of authenticity, you speak that truth, you answer that call of your soul, you put yourself into that place of alignment, of being very confident in yourself, experiencing kind of the fruits of those efforts, again, shining that beacon of light out, and then the tribe, the soul tribe, the people that are meant to resonate with you or are meant to really, touch upon that very unique light within you will find their way to you. They will be brought to you. They will be drawn into you. But if you continue to kind of cloister this energy within yourself, then it's almost, you're kind of hiding that. You're not letting that sort of signal or beacon be kind of put out there in the ethers in the right way. It's sort of muted at this point in time, and it makes it a little more difficult for you to then come into alignment, come into the awareness, come into the field of people who, again, are really meant to hear this, to experience this, to collaborate with you, friendships, even potential romances that could be kind of tied into your soul purpose in some way, other people that you can learn from, other people that you can help, other people that can help you. If you keep all of that bottled up within yourself, you're almost not sort of putting yourself out there into that energy of receptivity, which is the Queen of Wands. This is that magnetization energy. Again, really shining that beacon very unapologetically, just standing in that truth of who you are, recognizing that, you have this very unique light inside of you for a reason. You have this very unique set of skills embodied within you for a reason. There's something that you're called to for a reason. So even just more encouragement, she's standing there with her arms wide open, eyes closed, and just kind of trusting, just vibrantly letting herself shine, not being concerned with what people think of that, the people that will be the naysayers or that will be critical, just trusting that the people that resonate, the people that will support that, the people that need to experience that, need to see whatever it is that's being put out there or need to kind of touch upon that vibration will be brought toward her in just the right time and manner. So this is these two cards right here with the King of Pentacles, this is very, kind of this grounded energy, but it's also this action energy. It's this solar plexus energy, taking matters into one's own hands, not just dwelling in the realm of kind of wishful thinking. It's setting those prayers and intentions, but then taking steps to meet the universe halfway. Also staying in this kind of vibration of receptivity and abundance, really seeking to overcome kind of that imposter syndrome or that voice within oneself which says you're not good enough, you're not prepared, it's not time, there's too many people doing this, does your voice matter, will you make an impact, is this foolishness, should you just go with something that is safe and that is predictable? It's bypassing and kind of transcending all of that, that kind of vibration of doubt and stepping into that place of confidence. And so it's a recipe. It almost feels like two parts of yourself that are kind of segmented at this point in time that need to be braided together, that need to be married together. It's this, setting that intention, opening to receive, and taking these action steps in the direction of where you are being called, something within you that it keeps resurfacing. It keeps being, your attention keeps being brought back to it, or it's the same kind of theme or skill that many of these different experiences through your life, maybe even a lot of challenges and difficulties, have brought you back down to that. Maybe it's a particular spiritual practice, or even a theology, something that has really been your rock, something that has really been your salvation. It has been your source of grounding through these changes. It has helped you to empower yourself. This may be your purpose, is to bring that out, bring your experience of that, your understanding of that, sharing some of your practices, a very unique craft that you have developed for yourself, bringing that out to others in the form of, sharing that information through a podcast, through videos that you make, through a blog, maybe through a book that you are called to write, or a series of books, instructional manuals, classes you are guided to create and provide for other people. Just really, again, putting yourself out there. And as you are doing that, even in kind of those early days where, you're still kind of waiting for that soul tribe to find you, you're waiting for those resonant souls to kind of pick up that frequency, there will be a sense of personal empowerment. That same kind of tug you have within you that's leading you in a particular direction, it will fill you with this sense of almost satisfaction to the point where you may be close to drawn to tears. It's that just resounding yes, where internally within yourself, you're headed in the right direction. This is what you're supposed to be in alignment with. Listening to that over all of the noise external to yourself, out of all the noise internally that may cause you to doubt or question. Staying very true to that very quiet and resounding voice within you that knows the way. It knows the way forward. It knows something that you are imbued with, that you are meant to really embody in a more direct capacity in this lifetime. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now about this for you. Okay, and we have walk your own journey. It is essential to stay on your own path. So this is some beautiful guidance that ties in really well with that idea of you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Find your true north. Your path, your calling, your soul's purpose may be very unique from other people in your family. You may feel like an outlier, like a black sheep. Not a lot of people in your community, not a lot of people in your family can resonate with your interests. They don't necessarily understand your calling. They don't understand what you are trying to apply yourself toward. But nevertheless, despite all of that, it's very important that you open up into this energy of pure faith and trust, trusting that you have this interest, you have this urge, you have this calling for a reason, that there are people out there who you may not even be aware of at this point in time, who will understand your journey, who will understand your contribution. This is a time where, your faith may very much be tested, but to press forward beyond that, push beyond those boundaries and borders of what would people think, how will this be judged, how will this be received. There's a very important example here of, standing in your personal truth. First and foremost, that feels for most of you to be kind of a core factor of what your soul's purpose is in this lifetime, being that living example of authenticity, standing very proudly in that unique light of who you are, not in the interest of, kind of gaining that attention or gaining, the accolades or getting the approval from others, but standing in that authenticity, because you can't be any other way. It is who you are at your core. The time it may have taken, the journey it may have taken to unearth that portion of yourself and really holding fast to that inner knowing, that inner light of self-discovery, that it's very crucial no matter what you choose to kind of do, how you choose to kind of apply that out, that vibration remains the same. It touches and it affects others and encourages others in subtle and obvious ways to really excavate within themselves as well, to discover at their core who they truly are, and to do that very kind of arduous and heavy but very rewarding work of evaluating truly and honestly how that kind of inside truth, that core truth and reality, how does that match up with the vibration of what is being entertained externally, what one is, doing for a living, how one has really crafted their life, time that they are allotting to, allowing that voice of authenticity to shine forth, making more time for that, finding a way to kind of create a happy medium between these two polarities. Maybe you're somebody who has these kind of other interests or something that you're really wanting to do, but you're needing to work, a very kind of practical day job in order to make ends meet, finding ways to kind of carve out time where both of these aspects of self are really honored, that are really kind of brought forth, that it is, again, that living example. You're showing the universe through kind of this dedication and this effort, even in small ways, that you are interested in coming into greater alignment with who you are on the inside versus maybe who you need to be in order to kind of maneuver and survive in this material world. But, it's very important to kind of move into that interior landscape, to honor that, to give voice to that in just the same way that kind of these material and outward needs are also being honored and given voice to. So I'm going to get a few initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got H, W, P, E, I, L, O, Z, and C. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings. I've just brought back written readings, and I also offer channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. We chose the Amethyst cluster along with these cards, which I'll start with to get a general overview about if you are in alignment with your soul's purpose and higher calling in this lifetime. We've got Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution, joy, and lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. So it feels like for a lot of you, you might be in this period of time right now of a lot of endings, a lot of things falling away, things you once resonated with no longer resonating with you. This can be relationships with people, this can be hobbies or activities, maybe even your taste in food or taste in music is changing. A lot of space that is being cleared within your world, internally within your vibration, and also in your material world. Opportunities that could be kind of drying up, maybe a particular income stream that has been affected in some way. And it can be during times like that, with that pressure and, kind of a lot of changes, a lot of shifts, a lot of closure that is happening. It can be very easy to kind of question that and to feel that we are out of alignment in some way, that we have kind of wandered off the path in some fashion. And it feels that what is going on is actually very contrary to what you may be thinking. That in some way these endings, these changes, all this resolution, what is unaligned, that is kind of falling away from your existence, it is in fact bringing you into greater alignment with your true soul's purpose, with your higher calling. It's almost the idea of clearing a field after the harvest has been gathered. Circumstances, maybe even things that you were doing for a living, a particular job that you had, friends that you had, a relationship you were in, maybe a long-term romantic partnership that has kind of fallen by the wayside. Things have unraveled in that. You have reaped the harvest of the lessons and the experiences. In some way, a certain portion of your soul's purpose in this lifetime has been accomplished. There is nothing further to learn from continuing down the path you have been walking vibrationally, and even in terms of your actual kind of tangible experiences with others and other circumstances. So what might feel like a period of loss, a period of kind of a lot of space being created, a lot of quiet that is coming, a great expansiveness or even a void that you might be feeling within yourself. It is almost that very quiet space that is necessary for you to hear that call from within you, to receive that inspiration about the next adventure that is waiting for you. A new phase or a new layer of your soul's purpose that is opening up. These cards are really speaking to, up to this point, you have done an excellent job being in alignment with your soul's purpose and your kind of higher calling as it was meant to be embodied and kind of interacted with up to a particular phase. Again, you've learned kind of these lessons. You've done some work consciously or very unconsciously within yourself to close out some karmic cycles, to tie up some loose ends, or to just kind of reap the full fruit, the benefits, that harvest of what you were meant to experience, what you were meant to endure or to overcome or to enjoy with different individuals in a particular, being in alignment with a particular career path. Ways in which your day was structured, ways in which you were kind of applying your efforts. Things that were giving you joy and satisfaction, things that were giving you a sense of fulfillment, how you were really filling and spending your time. And because of that, your vibration has shifted, and so your world is needing to shift. So again, that idea of the harvest has been gathered. All the fruit, all the benefit, all the wisdom has kind of been taken. It has been squeezed out of these circumstances and these things and these experiences. And so now is the time to really clear that debris, to clear the rest away, to create that fallow field within yourself and within your life so that new seeds can be planted. New seeds that already have been laying dormant within you have the space and the quietude. I don't even know that that's a word, but that came through, like kind of this platitude of quiet. It's almost bringing to mind this idea of deep space where it is just soundless, where the voice is your heartbeat. The voice is your higher self. It is that inner guidance, the chatter, the input, the opinions and the energies that you once resonated with or of others. These have all really been silenced, and you have that ability to hear that very quiet and yet profoundly booming voice of your soul calling to you, pointing you in the next direction. You are open to receiving these new signs and these new kind of instructions or guidance or nudges from spirit about this is another potential step on your soul's path should you choose to embark upon that. It's almost that, you've completed a lot of these other sort of cycles or phases, and a veil is being opened. You now gain access to that VIP area within yourself, within your experience. The tools of wisdom that you have really gleaned, these experiences that you've had, as much as things are falling away, there are elements of kind of benefit, of nourishment that you are bringing with you into this next phase of your life, into this next kind of layer of aligning with your soul's purpose and your higher calling. These tools, these experiences, this wisdom that you bring with you, that will be the raw material that you use, that becomes that foundation that you are building in this whole new direction for. So a lot of you, again, maybe in this period of kind of endings, feeling very, kind of like a compass that can't right itself. You're not sure what direction to go. You're not sure kind of what all this means. You may be inclined to feel very out of alignment, and it really feels to be a stage of recalibration for yourself, to kind of lean into that, to trust in that process of things that are kind of spinning out of control in your life or falling away, this increasing quiet, this increasing void that you are experiencing. It's a very necessary kind of layer within yourself or layer within your life to really question what truly brings you joy. What horizon are you seeking to move toward? As the past is falling away, doors are closing. It's really an indication of a transformation, a metamorphosis. It's almost this cosmic womb out of which a new version of yourself will be birthed. And with that comes a new vibration. You're then calling in new experiences. You're calling in new people. You're calling in kind of a new understanding, a new layer of what that higher purpose, what that soul's purpose is at this leg of your journey. You have graduated, you have elevated, you are transcending, you have completed the tasks of what you set out to do at the soul level, at a particular kind of vibration of experience, interacting with certain series of people. It's almost the idea of everything has to go for a period of time, and sort of what remains or what is able to return, and that you find to be kind of a vibrational match. Maybe people that you have a falling out with, you're needing to go your separate ways for a while. Even things within kind of your diet that are needing to change, where you're not resonating with certain types of food with a heaviness. You're feeling very much like you want to eat very kind of clean food, a lot of fruits and vegetables. You're finding yourself to be very intolerant of things that at one point in time may have really, resonated with you or been kind of those sources of comfort. After sort of this phase of sort of clearing things away, other things kind of will sort of gravitate back towards you. You then have that ability to really sample and see, is this something which can be sustained at this kind of new level or this new layer of my kind of existence or my journey, or is this something that again is just, it needs to kind of fall away and back into the past, whether that is relationships, types of relationships, the kind of nature of conversations that you have with people, the types of interactions that you're having, a lot of depth that you are being called into within yourself, which then also reflects in more mindfulness and depth in the experiences that you are having with others, the types of relationships, the types of things you are putting into your body, whether that is foods, whether that is media that you are ingesting, music, information, all of that, the energies of other people. You may be very sensitive to that at this point in time, and finding yourself almost on this kind of feeling very allergic to a lot of things, or allergic to people, or kind of what you resonated with. And it could be very frustrating, feeling like you're out of alignment, but you're in this process of kind of stepping up to that next level. It's an activation, it's an ascension which is happening. As much as it may feel like things are falling apart, everything is truly coming together in a new way. And so you're tasked to really just surrender to this process at this point in time. That there is a quiet voice within you, that you are clearing the space, literally or even energetically within you, to be able to hear that calling. In the not too distant future, kind of that next phase, that next sort of direction that you are meant to be moving into, it will become very apparent to you in the form of signs and synchronicities, maybe something that comes through in the form of dreams, a download or a series of downloads that you get, or something that just really is occurring to you. And it feels, for a lot of you, this may have to do with something geographically, somewhere that you're really being called to move. And it may be very unexplainable. Why are you so drawn to this place? Why are you so, attracted to that? It may be nowhere that you have even traveled before, and yet it's just, you feel this strong compulsion to relocate in some way. Maybe it's a person that you meet there. Maybe it's just the environment, the vibration of the land, a particular house or a dwelling that you are meant to live in, a particular kind of energy to the life, the speed of life there. Maybe it's something where you're called out into a rural setting, and you've always been kind of a city mouse. You've been living in this urban setting, and you're being called out into the mountains, out into the country somewhere, and it feels very, very unusual. You feel very ill-equipped for it. In some way, that shift in terms of your physical environment, in terms of what you are sort of participating with, the types of people, the vibration, the pace of life, that this is bringing you into greater alignment with this next layer of your higher purpose, your soul's purpose, your journey. And it feels that you are somebody who is a wisdom keeper for a lot of you. You go through these cycles and stages. For some of you, this may kind of bring up memories of other points in time where just everything sort of shifts, and then you find yourself almost on the other side of this stormy energy. You're a very different person, a very different group of friends, a very different thing that you are doing professionally, and it kind of marks these significant chapters for you. But each time you're kind of bringing, the essential nourishment from these different sort of phases of who you are into that next stage. That in some way it's, bits of wisdom or it's tools that you find yourself kind of drawing back upon at future points in time, dealing with other people, maybe in advice you're giving, in ways you're able to then handle and navigate situations. Again, this wisdom keeper and kind of somebody who goes through a process or a series of kind of elevations within your life, kind of raising your vibration, raising your frequency internally, based on kind of the people and the circumstances and the environments you're in order to be sort of thrust into a new environment around a new series of people to, again, cultivate and raise your vibration even further. It is not one-sided, though. As you are raising your vibration, you ripple that out. You feel to be very much a change maker in some way, but in a subtle, almost energetic way. Not that it doesn't matter what you're doing for a living, but it feels that kind of your higher purpose and your soul purpose is something that is more energetically based. That whatever environment you are in, whatever collective of individuals you are encountering, you are experiencing, you are somebody who may be very empathic, you take in a lot of energy, and you are a transmuter. So it almost feels like an air filter. You're bringing in kind of these denser vibrations of experiences and people and environments, and you're clarifying that some way in a very subconscious way. Your energy is having an impact upon people. You are leaving seeds which, after you part company, after you part ways with these people, you sort of move away from these things. Environments and individuals are forever changed after having encountered you. That's your life's purpose. That's your higher calling. And so to flow with that, to stay in alignment with that, is to open up to that space of change. When these kind of waves of change, these elements of a lot that is kind of falling away, that is closing out, leaning into this space of honoring the feeling of fear, the feeling of panic, the feeling of confusion, those periods of time. It's very necessary stages of kind of doubting if you're doing something wrong. Have you sabotaged this in some way? Is this something on your part that you can really do to fix that? And when you've kind of exhausted all those options, taking that wider view and surrendering into that process of, okay, I understand this is clearing the way for that next kind of level up. That next kind of experience or environment or series of encounters or people that I am meant to touch the lives of and that are meant to touch my life, so that we can both kind of mutually and symbiotically sort of impact one another on the energetic level, for the purposes of change that, after that initial kind of point of contact, it has these kind of long-lasting aftershocks. It activates certain dormant seeds within environments or within the kind of the core of people to kind of burst this forth, to bring people into a greater questioning, a greater kind of awareness of that internal reality, and even the process of questioning, what do I resonate with? How is this in alignment with my environment? That questioning is it's an important part of the purpose of illumination, of being that kind of light in the darkness for others. And so it feels that is your kind of ever-evolving purpose. You sort of move to these different sort of places or these groups of people in order to, energetically interact with them, regardless of kind of the nature of those circumstances and those dynamics, however long or small the duration of that experience with other people and situations are, you leave this lasting impact. So you're never not in alignment with your highest purpose. And at points in time where it feels like things are falling apart, that almost just feels like kind of the necessary decluttering stage before that next kind of layer, that next kind of aspect of the veil is opened. You get even further into those secret passageways, into that kind of VIP area of, this is the next kind of level of that. You are ascension in embodiment. You are ascension in flesh form, and you are kind of walking the earth in that energy, subtly touching and activating and affecting environments and people around you. So I'm going to get some tarot to get a little more clarification about this. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Wheel of Fortune, which is mutable energy, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. And the Hanged Man, which is Pisces. So Queen of Wands came up in group 1. So if you felt inclined to watch that group as well, you may want to do that after these messages are finished. There may be additional kind of messages or information for you there. But this is definitely talking about this energy of receptivity, that you are this powerful beacon. You hold this powerful light inside of you. Your higher purpose, your soul's purpose, is something on an energetic level. Without even trying, you are that change maker. You may attract a lot of kind of broken or lost souls to you. You may be somebody who kind of garners a lot of attention even without wanting to. This idea of an empath who just kind of sponges up the energy of people that you encounter, environments that you encounter, for the purposes of transmuting that. For some of you, this will be a very active process. This may even be something which can help you in your journey to learn to become more cognizant of that. In this space, in the quiet that is being created, this is a great opportunity to really get to know your personal energy. What brings you joy versus what you are really kind of picking up or almost chameleoning from the environment and people around you, in order to, create that deep knowledge of the core of who you are, that base, that almost mothership within yourself, and understanding that, as you can't really control or affect that quality of you that sponges up all of this kind of dense energy. There are components within you, things that you may want to work on, spiritual practices, breathing practices, meditation practices, energetic clearing, energetic cleansing, maybe things to do with Reiki or quantum energy healing, that can help you keep your system at optimum capacity so that you function as that greater filter, so that as you're kind of moving through these different phases of your life, this kind of evolution, this walking change maker, that you are better able to kind of optimize your capacity for that. The cost upon you energetically, the drain upon you, or the ways in which this may have been very confusing or limiting, you can start to gain that deeper kind of understanding and perspective of sort of what this aspect is within yourself and how to really work with that capacity or that ability within you. Wheel of Fortune is a very positive indicator of change, and it again talks about this idea of, as things are really kind of falling away from your life, you are gearing up to step to the next level. You are this kind of agent of change. You are, you change environments. You change the energy of people that you encounter with this very unique vibration that you hold. Maybe this is even a very unique lifestyle that you have, some kind of other interest, something you do for a living, ideas that you have, and even discussing these things, standing in your authenticity very unapologetically. It changes people's view of the world. It changes people's view of what is possible. You have this ability to be that living embodiment of authenticity and joy. And it's a force of change for the better. It's something that is very necessary. There is definitely a reason that you are here on the planet at this time, and all the people that you encounter on some way at a soul level really kind of need this. You call to each other sort of across the ethers. So again, this sort of unconscious pull where you're being drawn to a particular area, and you're not really certain why. It seems so out of the box, or just a particular person that maybe you see and you feel very drawn to them. You gravitate toward them, or you have a lot of people like that that really notice you and just come up for no reason to talk to you, to just really share their problems, to share a lot about themselves, wanting this kind of close proximity to you. It's that light, it's that energy within you that draws them in, or that you are drawn to, again, because of this exchange. That's part of that higher purpose. That's part of that soul calling, is to spread that light, to be that kind of anchor of light here on the earth plane. And with the Hanged Man, this really again talks about reframing how you are viewing this gift within you of empathy. A lot of people look at that as a curse, and it can feel very overwhelming, as you're taking in all these energies, especially when you're just kind of newly coming into the knowledge of yourself as that, kind of learning to navigate that. And even at different points in time, as adept as you are at that, as many skills as you may have, often we encounter people or environments that are very dense. They are very toxic. There's a lot of unhealed baggage there. There's a lot of hurt and sorrow and a lot that is repressed. And it can be very draining. As an empath, we definitely need to kind of monitor ourselves, monitor that internal signal that tells us it's time to go and recharge. It's time to kind of pull back our energy, to sequester ourselves, to kind of go into that hermit mode. As an empath, it's very important to have that regular part of every day that is just that alone time. It's just that time spent in one's own company to really sift through, becoming very conscious of one's energy, and kind of energy regulation and balance and energy cleansing is very important as well. So taking a new perspective, upon what you may be viewing as the curse of empathy, seeing this as a blessing, recognizing there just may be some new tools. Perhaps these are new tools on this next phase of your journey, putting out the intention to acquire these things, putting your focus on kind of learning more about yourself, your own individual needs, your own individual kind of energetic limitations and requirements and wants, the energetic diet that is necessary for you in a variety of ways to kind of maintain your optimal performance. That this is something where you can then kind of move out of this energy of feeling very cursed or very oppressed by that idea of empathy or being an empath, and you can move into the realm of seeing that as a gift. You are here for a purpose. You are here for a reason. You help to raise the vibration of those you encounter, and even the geography of where you live, the very land itself. You are this anchor, this, kind of this beacon, just without even trying, just standing there, with arms out, she's got this look, her eyes closed, she's just kind of looking to the heavens, just standing there, just holding that light, holding that authentic truth of self, and that this is a very important function. This is your soul's purpose. This is your higher calling, and it takes many different shapes and many different manifestations over the course of a life. So again, kind of this period of things that are kind of falling away or closing out, changing your perspective and seeing that this is all just preparation. You're getting ready to launch into that next level. That veil is getting ready to be kind of pulled aside. You need to create this quiet space. Perhaps you've been almost overexerting yourself, overgiving, and this can be the universe really stepping in to create that quiet for you, so that you can come back home, you can come back to center, you can really kind of seek and unpack and learn off of this last sort of phase or chapter of your experience, to help to co-create the direction you want to move going forward, understanding your personal strengths, your personal attributes, how you choose to utilize these things, new interests or new kind of ways, thinking kind of outside of the box of that, in a different capacity, can really determine then sort of that next phase, that you are already in alignment with that higher purpose and with that that kind of soul's purpose and soul's calling, and in order to kind of come into greater alignment with that, it feels like coming into greater alignment with the core of who you are, understanding and learning yourself deeper at a vibrational level, and seeing a wider kind of purpose to even the most mundane interactions that you have in this lifetime. So I'm going to get some guidance for you now. Okay, and we have, you are unlimited. What you can create is unlimited. So again, this is really talking about ways in which you may feel that the walls are closing in, opportunities are drying up, people are kind of moving away from your life, a lot of endings and a lot of closure. This is really opening you up to the vast and unlimited possibilities of what the next phase of your life can look like, what you can create, what you can experience, what you can do and be. In order to really invite that in, to magnetize that in with that Queen of Wands energy, you must create that space. You must clear away the old, all that is no longer necessary, all that has really served its purpose. You're carrying that fruit, that nourishment of wisdom with you into this next phase. But there's a lot of almost debris or excess that needs to be kind of decluttered. It needs to be purged. It needs to be released. And on the other side of that, seeds that exist within you have a chance to germinate. You have the ability to discover and to craft and to plant new seeds within your own experience in order to have a different kind of harvest, taking the wisdom of what worked, what you could do better from your last kind of series or phases or the last chapter of your journey, and utilizing that to create a different kind of strategy, to course correct in the ways that are necessary. It's also really tying into the idea with this unlimited, it's here twice, unlimited and unlimited. It's really bringing me to this awareness that you may have been overexerting yourself energetically, utilizing your personal energy to try to help and to try to heal people. You're being encouraged to tap into the universal energy, the unlimited supply, whether that is grounding, spending more time in earth, tapping into Mother Gaia and utilizing that as a way to recharge yourself, or in the ways in which you are helping and healing if you are actively involved in that Reiki or quantum healing or any type of other type of healing profession. There's some way in which you need to extend your battery pack. You are utilizing too much of your personal energy. That may even be cosmic energy that you're tapping into. Maybe you resonate as a Pleiadian starseed, so tapping into that home collective, or just whatever other kind of star family that you resonate with, whatever you are called toward. Maybe it is your angels, a particular deity that you resonate with, source energy in just a blanket sense. There are many different sources out there that wish to help and replenish you, that wish to help you in this kind of capacity that you are as sort of this flesh and blood anchor of the light here on the earth plane. You don't have to go it alone. You don't have to utilize just your own kind of personal resources. There are unlimited resources out there for you. And so this period of quiet, it may be a very good time to explore those things, to experiment with different things, different kind of modalities, different kinds of practices, somehow sort of recraft or reimagine your own kind of energy, personal energy healing, your energy cleansing, the ways in which you ground and center, the ways in which you connect with your higher self and your spirit team, or again, even kind of the spirits of the land where you live, elemental forces. This can be spirit guides. This can even be passed on loved ones, ancestors from the other side of the veil that are pure source energy at this point in time and wish to help you with that, wish to facilitate that, wish to contribute their energy toward your kind of purpose of being that sort of living wheel of change here in the material world. You don't have to go it alone, and in some way expansion feels like the next, literally and even energetically in subtle ways in terms of who you are co-creating with or collaborating with in an energetic sense, kind of these energy beings or these sources of energy that wish to co-create with you at this next level. You've been going it alone for too long, and it's time to kind of expand that, bring that awareness outward into this next kind of phase or the evolution. It is unlimited with what you can create. The potential is unlimited. So looking at kind of these endings and the closures and kind of the growing quiet that is happening as, again, kind of that cosmic womb out of which a rebirth will happen, coming deeper into that joy within self so that you can kind of bring that out and be that living beacon of joy for others. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got J, F, P, S, W, C, O, A, N, and V. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings. I have just brought back written readings, and I also offer channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Agate slice along with these cards, which I will start with to get an overview about, are you in alignment with your higher purpose and soul's calling? We've got Crystal Skull Wisdom, Clarity, Divine Healing, High Vibrational Energy. Soul Tree. And Star Family, you're part of a team of souls. Call in support. So this is really bringing in this message of expansion, that in some way you have completed kind of a leg of the journey of your soul's purpose, your higher calling, work that you needed to do, maybe preparation work that had to be done on an individual level, healing that needed to be done on an individual level, information gathering, studying, the acquiring of skills that again was all kind of solitary work. While there may have been people that have influenced you or have educated you or have been an inspiration along the way, it feels that a lot of this was very, it was an internal process of alchemy. It was an internal process of elevation that was taking place, almost like a cocoon phase in how you may have envisioned your life's purpose, your soul's purpose, your higher calling. You're getting ready to step into or are being nudged in the direction of collaboration, of bringing that out, sharing that information, what you have learned, what you have experienced, what you have unearthed within yourself with others. You hold a lot of wisdom within you with this crystal skull wisdom. You may be drawn into a healing profession, maybe something to do with energy healing, or even Reiki. This can talk about mediumship as well, and channeling. You have been in a place of cultivating an individual relationship with your spirit guides, with your passed on loved ones, with source energy, or with your star family, as we have literally here in the star family card. And now it is really time for this next it just feels almost like if you're driving down the highway and you've been going in one lane, it's time to switch lanes. You're still headed in the same direction. You're still very much in that kind of series of alignment, but you're now moving over into the carpool lane. You're taking more souls on board with you in this capacity. Maybe this is a particular spirit guide or a series of ancestors, or even deities that you work with that you have made very strong connections with, particular angels. Archangel Michael is coming in very strongly. And now at this point, in this kind of next leg, this next kind of layer of your journey, you're taking on these kind of partners, this collaboration. This can talk about other people in a community sense, something you are meant to really build together with other kind of flesh and blood individuals. Other members of your soul tribe who are gravitating in, people with different kinds of skills, different kinds of experience, but maybe a shared sort of interest or a shared kind of set of ideas. And that in a larger kind of in the sense of a gathering or in a community sense, this next layer or evolution of your soul's purpose, of your higher calling, it involves other people, either sharing information with other people or again, collaborating, co-creating with other people in order to bring forth whatever it is that you have interest in, whatever it is that you do. This may be something if you are working in a healing profession, maybe it is you and a group of other healers that get together and form a group. You rent a literal office space and there's a couple different practitioners in there. This can be something where you are kind of collaborating with people about maybe some kind of classes, some kind of a school, something to do with education, with teaching or with instruction. This can also talk about maybe something you are drawn to do in terms of publication, putting your story out there, your particular beliefs, your particular practices, and this may be in the form of collaborating with editors, with publishers, with an agent who can market this, who can advertise this, people who have connections in that industry. This can talk about, this kind of, again, that element of healing, networking, getting referrals, working with other people, marketing yourself in a larger way. Maybe you've just been relying on one particular platform or word of mouth, and it's time to get a little more proactive with that. It's time to call in divine support in that sense, or even literally in terms of someone that can help you with that. Maybe somebody who is, skilled at marketing. Somebody who is very skilled at advertising, somebody who can help you with a website, somebody who can help you, with really getting yourself out there if these are not necessarily skills that you have. Maybe this is someone who can help you with editing, help you with photography, just help you with the technical issues of things, just in a larger kind of a team building sense. That your soul's purpose feels to be something that not only kind of helps other people, but it involves many hands. You may have been doing this alone, like solo work up to this point in time, but you're now ready to kind of spread your wings, to bring more people on board. Maybe this is even bringing on an assistant for yourself and whatever it is that you do, or somebody who helps assist with other duties, so that you are able to carve out more time individually for whatever it is that you are feeling called toward, whatever this interest is, whatever it is that you've been working towards, you've been getting certification at, you've been getting that skill set at. Maybe this is relying upon friends and family, or even a spouse or a romantic partner, collaborating with them, helping them, or asking them to really help you in kind of managing your time, budgeting your time, helping you to carve out more time, to tend the seeds that you have been planted with this soul tree here. You've got the foundation, you've got the grounding, you've got the basis, the experience, you've got this innate soul wisdom, these kind of contacts with your higher self and with your soul team. And it's now time to really tend and nurture the seeds that you have planted. The next kind of evolution or phase and coming into greater alignment with that is more time, more concentration, more energy. Conversely to that, you may have really been applying a lot of direct force and action to the point where you may be overwatering some of these seeds. You may be putting too much sunshine of attention on these things, and it's time to just kind of expand and allow the work that you have put in, allow the intentions you have set to really just germinate as they will, to grow very organically. Maybe you have put yourself out there in terms of marketing, in terms of advertising, and now it is time to just allow that word of mouth to spread, allow the algorithm of whatever site to kind of spread your message, to spread your skill, to spread your artwork, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you provide. A lot of this may be out of your control at this point in time. The best way to kind of come into greater alignment with that is to, again, kind of call in this support, lean on that support, put a lot of your trust in the divine, that things are really falling into place, things are falling into order. You've done what you can, you have planted good seeds, you have been tending these things, continuing and strengthening and being consistent with your practices, calling in that support from the energetic realms, or, from people that people in your environment. Maybe this is even just a trusted friend that can help you to take your mind off things. You go to a movie for a few hours, you go out to coffee, you focus on something else. You allow kind of this pressure you may have been putting upon yourself to build something, to grow something, to come into greater awareness of self, or just kind of, alignment with what is the purpose of my life, what is my soul's purpose, my higher calling, what can I be doing to get there? We all need these different kind of periods of time, this balance between putting so much effort and focus upon that and just kind of enjoying the moment, enjoying the very immediate surroundings, spending time again with a good friend, or spending time with a good book alone, your favorite characters, rewatching your favorite TV show or a movie that makes you feel really good. Just these different kind of periods where your energy and your focus is being redirected elsewhere, so that kind of the magic of the universe, these higher forces, your angels and your spirit team, your passed on loved ones, the deities that you resonate with, so that they can take the petitions that you have made, the intentions that you have set, and they can get to work on their part to bringing in new opportunities, opening doors for you where there may have been walls or just non-existent opportunities, creating those those sprinkles of magic, those synchronicities, those serendipities, those chance meetings, or just that right person that you encounter that then is kind of a conduit to other opportunities or individuals that help to inspire you, that help to really, bring some things into fruition, or that are the audience that you have been seeking. They are that soul tribe you have been searching for. They are those people that can kind of resonate with what you've been putting out there, with what you feel so strongly called to do or to bring forth. Those people that you can help, those people that will benefit from your healing, and that through that kind of affirmation and kind of the acknowledgement, that satisfaction of a job well done, that also helps to heal you. It heals some doubt within you. It instills your confidence to continue to build in the direction you have been moving. So very much in a general sense, you are in alignment with your higher purpose. You have been doing great work to kind of bring that here into the material world, to create that foundation, to create that grounding, that kind of skill set, or that knowledge base within you. And now is really the time to branch out, to call in reinforcement, to kind of bring other people, energetic beings or even physical beings, or a combination of both, into whatever it is that you are doing. You in some way may have also really sparked interest from other kind of flesh and blood individuals, or interest from passed on loved ones, interest from particular deities, interest from particular kind of spirit beings that have noticed sort of what you are applying your efforts toward, and they are wanting to help you. They are wanting to kind of come in and sort of lend their voice to this, to lend their energy to this endeavor. So now is really a time to, again, kind of go within, listen to that, listen to these signs, pay attention to dreams that are coming through as well, and spontaneous downloads. This can also be names that just particularly like pop out of nowhere. Can be the names of deities, the names of angels, things that show up in dreams. You can take all of that as a confirmation of kind of an energy you might want to work with, somebody you may want to incorporate into your kind of daily practice, into your spiritual practice, meditating upon that, reading about those individuals or those entities, and just kind of drawing that in, incorporating that into the larger kind of fold of what it is that you have been working toward. It's a time for expansion. It's a time for almost thinking more globally, that in some way your life's purpose may involve, with this world here, reaching a large variety of people on kind of a global scale. You may have been thinking too small about things, and it's time to really branch out. If you find yourself at a loss for making those kind of contacts, again, calling in support from others who may be kind of experienced at that, marketing, whatever it is you do. Particularly, I feel for a lot of you, this could be, again, something that you write, something you create. Maybe it's even a public presence, a platform that you are really trying to get off the ground. Just continuing to apply those efforts, calling in that spiritual support, setting those intentions, really putting that out there of the goals that you want, and asking for help in a variety of ways, physical and non-physical, in order to really bring these things into fruition, to really, get that out there, to create that expansion that you are really seeking. I'm also drawn here to this this kind of golden orb, around this little earth that we have down here. And this really talks about this idea of protection and empowerment, that it is safe to continue forth with these ideas. This is a brilliant idea. It's a brilliant path that you are on. Whatever you've really been investing your time and efforts up to this point, it is in alignment with that higher purpose and that kind of soul purpose and higher calling. So to continue to move forward with that, squashing doubt and fear as it may kind of surface for you, and really trusting that there are many forces at play in the material world and immaterial world that are supporting you in this. There's a greater kind of purpose. There's a greater awareness. There's a greater kind of energy or a vibration, or just an example that you are meant to set. This wisdom you are bringing forward, this healing that you put out there, this very high vibrational energy that you've cultivated within yourself. It really needs it needs a platform or a microphone. It needs kind of a podium that can reach a wider variety of people. It is not something that is meant to just be kept inside of you. It's meant to kind of be shared and be spread and be almost kind of launched out there in a larger sense, in a global sense, in an international sense for a lot of you. So something on kind of a big picture, on a big scale, something that might just feel very small at this point in time, but that has kind of far-reaching ripples, something that can really last deep into the future. It's legacy building. It's something that has the ability, whatever you are cultivating at this point, to grow into a very solid foundation for you. It can grow into a lot of abundance for you in the future. So it feels like a lot of encouragement here to just continue down that path. If you needed that confirmation, if you're in alignment, if you're headed in the right direction, this is all a resounding yes that you are. To just keep doing that, call in that support, energetic or otherwise, that you need to kind of give you that stamina to continue down the route you have been headed. So I'm going to get some tarot to get a little more clarification about this for you. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Six of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And Nine of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So with this Eight of Swords, this can talk about kind of fears or overwhelm, something where you feel very limited in terms of what you're capable of, limited and as far as the reach of whatever it is you are doing at this point in time and how that is being received, what you are experiencing at this point in time. In typical decks, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck with the Eight of Swords, it is a figure of a woman who is blindfolded and she's surrounded by all these swords, which she perceives to be kind of a barrier, but in all actuality, she is not seeing that the way forward is a lot simpler than she would have anticipated. So this is really drawing to mind this idea of there are resources that are all around you. It feels predominantly in the form of energetic beings, ancestors, deities, angels, members of your star family or star collective that are just, they're very drawn in, other kind of spirit beings, elementals, for example, that are very drawn into what it is you're doing, the vibration within yourself that you've cultivated and that is being translated through your efforts at this point in time. And they are waiting for that invitation from you to really help you on this next leg of your journey. So this is, again, this idea that is reinforced here, about calling in that energetic support. This may even talk about literal, like flesh and blood people, resources, a manager, a publisher, a publicist, an editor, somebody who has even a friend of yours who has a degree in business, somebody who is very, tech savvy, who can help you with some of these kind of aspects. Maybe this is even, calling in support from a family member or friend to babysit for a couple hours once a week, so it carves out time for you individually to put more effort into these things, to have that time to really work on things without the distractions, without, maybe all of the other kind of demands that you have upon your time. It's this idea of help being closer than you realize or recognize, and any kind of obstacles or limitations that you are perceiving, that these are just kind of an illusion. You're not seeing something. You're really being called to kind of go within, imagine bigger, imagine kind of a wider scope, which you may see as obstacles or limitations or setbacks. These really are things that through some creative maneuvering, you have the ability to transcend that and kind of reach your goals, almost fast track yourself toward that energy of abundance and stability. That is meant to really come from and ripple out from this alignment with this higher purpose and with this higher calling. This is not, part of this may be very charitable, but it does feel with the Nine of Pentacles, this energy of abundance and culmination, that this higher purpose and this higher calling, it's something which is meant to help others, but you are not meant to go unrewarded from this. It's something that, kind of the benefit in which this has to others, it is is meant to also sustain and reward you as well. So something you may start off doing kind of pro bono, doing on a volunteer basis. It is not meant to remain that way forever. You may need to just kind of get your feet wet, kind of cut your teeth doing that in sort of the introductory phase. But really this guidance to not also sell yourself short or underestimate yourself. You have this ability, you have this potential. These are seeds well planted that have the ability to grow into something for you that's very productive. And so again, this kind of, this maneuvering in a way that you may not have anticipated at this point in time is kind of the, how you can come into greater alignment with that, thinking outside of the box and seeing beyond kind of the physical circumstances around you. The idea of Six of Cups, this is also the idea of, any way in which you've been stressing or putting a lot of pressure on yourself. This brings in that energy of lightening your load for a period of time, doing things which just bring you a sheer sense of joy, maybe too much effort or too much pressure you've been putting upon yourself to achieve, to work towards a goal, and to come into greater alignment with that at this point in time requires you to take your mind off of it, return to simpler things, the return to innocence, the childlike joy of maybe spending time with kids, with your kids, with a childhood friend, with sort of, kind of the simple activities, the comedy movies, something very lighthearted, something very kind of easy to kind of counteract and counterbalance a lot of the stress and pressure, and the excitement, the anticipation of something that you're really working toward. You need to give yourself a break. You need to give yourself a rest. Take a period of time where you just step back. You enter into this place of kind of the beginner's mind, the child's mind, believing in the magic of the universe, believing that, miracles can happen. Wishing upon a star can bring something into fruition. Dreams can come true. If you're focused too much on kind of the practicals and the what ifs and how is this going to work, the pace at which it's working, you're being called and invited to bring more of this kind of trust and this, this element of magic back into your life, back into your world, and that this is really a doorway to achieving what it is that you seek to accomplish. And that by doing that, by investing your time into that, by incorporating that aspect of things into whatever else you're doing, it brings about those results in a more profound, even in a quicker manner than you may have anticipated or that would be possible just simply kind of continuing to push against that grindstone. This is also can talk about maybe somebody from your past, somebody you have known for a while that is an overlooked resource, with that idea of calling in support, learning from kind of your past experiences. If other kind of experiences from your past as well about collaboration or working with others didn't work out so well, it kind of fell apart, you're being guided to, take the wisdom from that experience, but not allow that to kind of jade you to the possibility of bringing other people into your plans, bringing other people into, this energy of collaboration at this point in time. The past need not dictate the future, and kind of the difficult experiences that you've had. It has been a teaching tool in order to set better boundaries or expectations or things to kind of look for, things to articulate, things to get in writing, just various things that might need to be kind of brought into alignment and into order to keep all the wheels functioning on this higher purpose, this life's purpose, this soul calling, the soul's purpose that you are already actively working toward that. You're already in alignment with that. You may just need to kind of make a little more space, branch out, bring more people into this, or even expand your perception of how something that may seem very simple and just very basic, how that can help other people, how that can touch the lives of other people, or, believing in this idea and this reality that you can really become well known. You can really become renowned in this. What you put forth, what you bring forth, this wisdom or this skill, it is something which can benefit and will be of interest and use to other people. So I'm going to get some guidance for you about the situation. Okay, and we have let go of a fixed plan, allowed for spontaneity and growth. So again, this idea of needing to allow, taking your mind off of things for a while, a vision that you have had of the future, or what this thing is meant to really grow into, or what it can become, expanding that, opening up to the unknown and the endless possibilities of, this beautiful goal or endeavor or skill or an art form, or something you're wanting to write or produce or put out there. Expanding to the possibility that, the possibilities are endless with this. It may be a different route. It may be, again, kind of a resource that is near in proximity, but you're just not seeing it. You're just not anticipating that. A way that you have been kind of approaching this, that you've been carving out time, that your day has been structured as tasks that you've been doing, on your own. Maybe expanding that to allow other people to help you in this process, whether that is energetic beings that want to help you in this, want to encourage you, to give you signs, to give you that energetic boost, or kind of contribute their voice to whatever it is you're putting out there. Or whether this is flesh and blood individuals who can be called upon as kind of that resource, that sounding board, or to take a lot of the pressure and the burden off of you in certain aspects and areas of your life, in order to free up more of your time, to apply more of your efforts toward these beautiful seeds that you have planted and that exist within you. This work you have done up to this point in time, and now that you are being called to kind of bring out into a larger form. Allow these seeds, which are starting to germinate, to blossom fully, not being attached to an outcome of when or what that will look like, but being open to the possibilities of how these things organically want to develop, and the unlimited potential of what can occur that may most likely be beyond what you can anticipate at this point in time. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name. It can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got S, N, C, V, W, F, R, M, H, and P. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings. I've just brought back written readings, and I also offer channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.